There's an idea I want you to sit with, an uncomfortable one. What if the greatest danger to a civilization is itself, is not the evil it fights, but the darkness it refuses to see in itself? In 1951, Carl Jung wrote a book called Aion. It's not an easy book, but the central idea is simple and unsettling. He said, "The Christian era is coming to an end, not because people stopped going to church, not because belief disappeared, but because something inside the Western psyche was never completed. The hidden pattern of history." Jung noticed something strange. Across thousands of years, human cultures seem to move in cycles. Not random chaos, but patterns. Each era shaped by a dominant way of seeing reality. The last 2,000 years were shaped by one image above all, the image of Christ. This era, what Jung called the Christian Aion, was built on a powerful idea that God is pure goodness, pure light, pure perfection, and that every human being is called to move toward that light. And this idea changed everything. It gave rise to individual conscience, moral responsibility, human rights, the value of the individual soul. It built a modern world, but it also made a mistake, a quiet one, a dangerous one. What was left behind? If you define God as only light, then where does the darkness go? It doesn't disappear. It has to go somewhere. So it went underground, into what Jung called the shadow. Everything that didn't fit the image of goodness, anger, power, violence, desire, chaos, was rejected, denied, projected outward. And for centuries, people believed, we are the good, and the evil is out there. But the psyche doesn't work like that. What you refuse to see doesn't go away. It accumulates. For 2,000 years, Western civilization was building something underneath itself, silently, slowly, like pressure beneath the earth, until the 20th century, when the shadow erupts. 2 world wars, the Holocaust, atomic destruction, unimaginable violence. Jung looked at all of this, and he didn't see random evil. He saw something else. He saw a shadow that had been denied for centuries, finally breaking through. Because when darkness is buried long enough, it doesn't return gently. It returns violently. The Antichrist, a different meaning. Now here's where Jung says something radical. The Antichrist is not just a villain, not just a monster, not a single person. It is a psychological event. The Antichrist is what happens when everything a culture has rejected comes back all at once. Not because evil has won, but because the psyche is trying to balance itself. Think about it personally. If you suppress anger for years, pretend it's not there, call yourself peaceful, eventually, it explodes, not as calm strength, but as uncontrolled rage. That's what happens when something human is denied for too long. Now imagine that, not in one person, but in an entire civilization. That's what Jung meant. The Antichrist is not the enemy of Christ. It is the shadow of Christ. Returning, the turning point. But this isn't just a story about collapse. It's also a story about transformation, because every ending is also a transition. Jung believed we are moving into a new phase, a new way of understanding ourselves. Not a world without spirituality, but a world where spirituality changes form, from something external to something internal, from Follow the light outside you. 2. Confront what lives inside you. A new responsibility. The next step is not perfection. It's wholeness. Not just light, but light and shadow. Not just the ideal self, but the real self. This is what Jung called individuation. The process of becoming who you actually are. Not by escaping darkness, but by facing it, understanding it, integrating it. Because what you face, you can transform, but what you deny will control you. This isn't just history. This isn't just about civilizations. It's about you. Every time your identity breaks, every time your beliefs stop working, every time something you relied on collapses, that's your personal end of an Aion. And what comes after depends on whether you're willing to face what you've been avoiding. Final thought. The shadow is not your enemy. It's unfinished material. The Antichrist is not just destruction. It's a signal, a sign that something buried is ready to be seen. And maybe, for the first time, understood. That is empire of the mind, not comfort. Clarity. If this made you think, subscribe. Share this with someone who's trying to understand the world right now. And tell me in the comments, where do you see the shadow emerging in the world or in yourself? Next time, we go deeper into the underground traditions that saw this coming nearly 2,000 years ago, the Gnostics, and the maps they left behind.